tiger's ears.
Box the tiger's ears. All right. Anything in particular about it, or just?
Wait, last time you showed me the step around,
Uh-huh.
which I need at the end of the class when I'm tired.
Sure.
I can kind of do things at
Sure.
the beginning when I'm not.
Yeah.
So if you could go over that again.
Absolutely. So, for reference, the non-step around version, it box the tiger's ears. It comes after a heel kick, right? That is the non-step around version.
And it's only a quarter turn.
It's a quarter turn with the standing leg, so it's tricky. It makes you think you're doing a whole 180 and you're not. If I need to, if I'm stuck to the floor or my joints are bothering me or you just need a step around, I just put enough weight on this foot so that I can pivot this foot and then knee up. Thank you. As opposed to, the reason why I stress just enough weight to give a pivot point is it will take you too long if you shift back and forth into that. So it's not a full substantial, insubstantial, setup. If I did that, I would be, I'm stepping here, and I'm stepping here, and then then the class has moved on to moves. So it's just a little micro pivot point. So I'm here just enough so that I can turn those toes, and then this continues to come up, and then I box the ears. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Could you show the arms?
Yes, the arms. So, if I'm not doing anything with my lower body, my arms are here for my kick. They stay there. They're going to come down and out. So it's here, down, and around. Sometimes it ends up coming over the top, and it's like saber. Well, that's for the kicks. Never mind. Not for this one. It comes around this way. But for all the heel kicks, they come up like saber. But the other thing I wanted to say before I forget, if you are having trouble with box the tiger's ears or any of the heel kicks, or what comes after a heel kick, check yourself to make sure that you're giving yourself ample time to be balanced and centered in the heel kick that comes before. So if I'm wobbly on this one, there's no way I'm not going to be wobbly and out of balance on box the tiger's ears. So what do I mean by give yourself that chance? Really just don't even start it till, am I balanced? Do I feel rooted on this? I mean, am I already doing this? Check it, balance, bring it back so that I'm centered. My head's suspended. I've got a nice bend in this leg. Only when I feel like I'm not going to fall over in a hurry here do I start. I lift, even if I'm not kicking high, balance. Now, from here, whether I do this to here, or I'm balanced, I'm rooted, or this to here, neither one of those can happen if I'm, wobbly up there. So,
The only problem though is if I take time to really get there, everybody else.
well, of course, but that's what this is for. That's what the practice is for. Yes, caveat, of course, if you're doing it in a group, you have to keep up with the group. But for practicing, if you practice it this way, it will happen more easily for you in a group setting. So, you ever have a little bit to practice with for box the tiger's ears?
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. You don't have to stay together. There's plenty of space, so you can carve out your own little tiger dome. Good, Mr. Loomis. Yep. Excellent.
You get it.
It's like grabbing.
It is. Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to envision.
yeah, so it's grabbing the lapel or the back of the head.
Okay, so it's grabbing a little bit of, bringing it down.
Bringing it down, and then I can't imagine they would still be standing at that point, but maybe there's somebody behind them.
I mean, all the oogies are like.
And a line of assassins, like, oh, and there's somebody right behind. But yes, that's what you're doing, you're gonna grab and smash. Yeah.
Sometimes I can get around, but this is already in.
Ah, mhm.
Is there almost like a double swing of the hand, so that come around, I'm coming down, and then I'm coming back?
Well, I don't call it a double swing, but yes, that's correct. 'Cause it's
Okay,
just-
so I'm not doing too many?
No, it's down and up, yeah, so that's correct.
Okay.
This is a heel. Right.
It's a toe. Mhm. Yep, that's it.
Kind of.
That was it. The timing was right.
Do you want to be level with like each right side?
Basically, it's your level with your own ears. Like if you had a
Okay.
because you're basically punching them in the side of the ears. Yeah, very good. Now that was one too many swings.
Was it,
That one was, yeah.
I kind of feel like I'm doing that.
It went down and then down again, and then, so it's just here, down, up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yep, and Mr. Watkins, very good.
And you were very generous.
No, it's there. I don't give, effusive praise if it's not, I mean, I like to encourage people because I know it's very easy to say, I'm never gonna get this, so yes, you are. But the alignment and the pieces were there, so that's.
Working on it, yes.
Yes, yes,
I forgot,
yes.
yes.
It's not lethal yet, but you are heading in that direction. Take breaks. Tai Chi does become a little bit aerobic as soon as you put a weapon in your hand or practice a bunch of applications. Good, Mr. Watkins.
At least while we're learning, is it okay once we make the pivot, just to stop?
Sure, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you said that. So when you're practicing this and you're trying to get the nuts and bolts, stop all you need to. Like, that's what this time is for, to really break down things so that you can string them back together. So don't ever be like, well, I'm supposed to be moving continuously all the time. Yeah, when you're doing Tai Chi, but when you're learning something, break it down as much as you need. I mean, because in the olden days, they would teach you one move and just one part of one move. And you couldn't get the next part of the move until you did that one part. Right, so we as 21st century people know that your heads would explode, you would hate us if we did that. You can have step left for 18 months, show me that. That's
Oh,
not.
no.
But that should give proof, absolutely, slow it down, break it down to little pieces of pieces if you need to. There you go, that was it. Ah, it's the
Am I
knee
still
time.
doing too much?
It's because, I don't think you're doing too much, it's that you're, trying to put words on it, it's like you're turning the knee into two moves, even though the knee is just up. But it's not coming, I see it and how it works for it. So, here, here, here. When you hold your knee up as long as you have, you do this, and then you're doing an extra thing with your arms. So try to make it one, even if you want to catch your balance, that's great, but then just follow through with the.
Yeah, because I feel like something's weird there.
Yeah.
I just didn't know what it was.
So if you pause to hold the knee up, don't do anything with the arms. And then continue when
Gotcha.
you're ready to continue. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yes. Oh,
I did it again.
you see what it is?
I felt that. Thank
Because
you.
it's just here and then to here. It's not like a double, it's a double strike. That's what you're doing. You're doing two, and it's just 1, 2.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, yes,
Felt that.
that's it.
Thank you.
Mhm. All right, 30 seconds, or just tap out as needed. I've been doing this a lot.
Tapping is fine.
Keep wanting to do a heel turn. It's gotta
It's
work.
gonna make it harder.
I know. I know.
I said, ooh.
That's what I do, I make it hard on myself.
That sounds hard. I don't have any tips other than just
Don't do that.
don't do that. All right, finish the one that you're on. Finish on a good one. There you go.
Decent,
All right, how was that? Any
insightful.
insightful? And so Ms. Burns asked, you know, what is she hitting and what is the target? So it's really quite nasty, and this is not something you want to practice on someone you care about, but it's, so the downward movement is if I'm grabbing somebody by their lapels or possibly back of the head, and obviously devastating. It's a knee smash. And then the next one is it's boxing the ears. So if you're practicing with your form, you always envision that your opponent is identical in size and shape to you. So, you know, I would be aiming at my ears. So that's what you would be aiming at. Just on a practical standpoint, if you, I shudder to think ever needing this, but boxing ears is an extremely effective, extremely powerful, because it doesn't take a lot of pressure from you, a lot of force from you, and it's devastating. Like, so I mean, if you're in trouble, boxing ears, whether with a fist or even more so with cupped hands, both sides of the ear, you can really throw off someone's equilibrium. You can possibly rupture eardrums. I mean, it's a good, if you're really in trouble, it's a good way to distract whoever's causing you trouble and getting away. And it doesn't take a whole lot of like skill or technique, you know, just bam. It's very, very effective. So that's what that is. But in this case, it's fists. But that's what you're doing, and I just gave you a little bit of why you would do that. Obviously, it's not something you play around with, but if you ever need it, it's one that doesn't take a whole lot of, you know, like people think you can just throw a punch. Do you know how hard it is to punch somebody correctly and not smash your hand into oblivion? I mean, there's a lot of skill in that, where successful self-defense techniques, usually you can think of them very quickly. They don't require a whole lot of special expertise, and they're effective. So boxing ears is definitely one of those.
I won't be your Yugi.
No. You know, we don't train this one, no, but,
That's
you know.
why Bob's wearing headgear.
how-
That's why Bob's wearing headgear.
And he has no ears, so you can box Bob's ears, because, you know, he's rubber. Yeah, but, we learned a lot in my other, you know, Taekwondo, we practice more practical self-defense, so I always like to pass that along with. It's a good one, and it doesn't require a whole lot of, you know, what are the 16 steps that the Head Instructor Durkin gave? Like, that's not gonna help you, so. All righty, let's go ahead and bow out.
Bob, head instructor.
Bow to intermediate and beginner level students. Students at home, master's path training is dismissed. Good job, everybody.